If you're looking for a beautiful European getaway without the sky-high prices of Italy or Croatia, then keep watching, because Montenegro might just be the hidden gem you've been searching for. In this series, we'll take you across this small but stunning country on the Adriatic coast, with a population of only 635,000. From exploring historic towns full of grand architecture, to hiking mountain trails for sweeping panoramas, we'll discover quiet corners and lively waterfronts, brave some dangerous roads in search of some breathtaking views, and even make a few unexpected friends along the way. This is Montenegro. And we're about to show you why it should be the top of your list this summer. From Manchester Airport in the UK, we flew into Dubrovnik, Croatia. This was the most accessible route for us, as there weren't any flights into Montenegro from airports near us. This was the first time we decided to hire a car abroad, so the first task was to collect our vehicle. One top tip in Dubrovnik Airport is that these phones are for out of hours only.
Hello, I'm outside the car with yourselves, picking up 12.
If you've arrived during the day, just go straight outside and the car hire companies are about 200 metres in front of you. Montenegro isn't in the EU, so my advice is to book a car hire with border crossing charges included. We saw some people get caught out about this when they were paying for their car. And once we'd adjusted to driving on the right hand side of the road, because we're Brits, we set off for the border. The main border crossing is only 16 kilometres from Dubrovnik Airport, which makes it well located as an alternative entry point into Montenegro. So we've made it into Montenegro, except we haven't, because we've only left Croatia and we haven't gone across the border crossing into Montenegro, so we're in some weird limbo.
In the middle?
Yeah, it's like some no man's land, and it's a big queue, and we're being sat here for at least 5 minutes, and there's not really been much movement. So yeah.
There hasn't, to be fair, there's been no movement.
Yeah, everyone's getting out to have a cigarette and to stretch the legs. You know, it's a bit frustrating. So let's see how long it takes. We're in Montenegro. Behind a dusty van truck. A little bit stressful, but we're through now, so hopefully smooth sailing on the way to Kotor. The drive to Kotor is so stunningly beautiful. The highway wraps all the way around the coast of the Bay of Kotor, and the landscapes are just breathtaking. What you're seeing here is a 40-kilometre stretch wrapping around the bay, which connects to the Adriatic Sea. The journey was about 1 hour 20 minutes from the border. Once we'd checked into the apartment, we're headed straight for some food. Stay tuned for an apartment tour later. Trying our best not to get lost. And already, the surrounding mountain scenery is so breathtaking. The whole Bay of Kotor is just on another level. After our first taste of what's going to be the best gelato we've had in a while, we went for a drink in the Old Town. Then later, we ended up dining out at Restaurant City, a quaint eatery nestled right in the centre. And then we just relaxed for the rest of the evening. Day 2, and this is where the real adventure starts. And let's begin with the tour of this gorgeous one-bed apartment about 1 kilometre outside the Old Town. apartment came well stocked with the amenities you'd expect. We arranged the stay through booking.com and it came to around £130 per night, which is probably at the pricier end for what you'd expect for Kotor. But for the facilities provided and the great location, we were paying that little bit extra for comfort and convenience. The host even left us some welcome refreshments, which was a thoughtful touch. So let's get into our first full day in Kotor. So we've locked up and we are now leaving. This is our high car. Traumatic experience yesterday, wasn't it? Dying of heat. This is the main entrance to the Old Town, which is located right next to the main dock for the cruise ships. Already you can tell that Kotor has a similar Old Town vibe to Dubrovnik, but it definitely has a more authentic feel. It still has that rustic medieval charm, but less of the Game of Thrones merchandise and souvenir shops littering every street corner. And the first thing to greet you is the clock tower of Kotor, overlooking the Square of Arms, and with many bars and restaurants sprawling throughout the courtyard. So we've come to Old Town and it is quite busy. There's a few tours that are going around. Interestingly, there's no cruise ships docked outside, so I think these tours are probably from buses. But it's probably a bit busier than yesterday, to be honest. But it is midday, so let's go around and see. The brilliant thing about the Old Town walls is that you can easily gain access from multiple areas and freely walk along it for great views over the harbour. So we've come just above one of the entrances to the Old Town and we are sweating. Sun cream is running into my eyes. It is awful. So there's three gates to this Old Town. One is the main one we came into. The other one I think is over by the water, and then this one is the third one. So it's basically so hot that my phone is overheating and the camera app is just dying. So we're going to make this short and sweet. We're going to go downstairs, check out the functioning drawbridge entrance and probably get something to eat. Maybe cool off in the shade.
And a beverage.
Yeah, let's go. The architecture here is just so beautiful. So naturally, the exploration got us working up an appetite, when we'd heard about a pastry restaurant in the heart of the Old Town. But unfortunately, there were no tables and we weren't keen on waiting. But little did we know, this was probably the quietest we were ever going to see it. Instead, we found a chilled pub situated right beneath the clock towers of St Tryphon's Cathedral, and the square itself had a calming ambience, perfect for a midday beer and pasta. And surprisingly, the prices weren't too bad, considering the touristy location. Cats play an important part in the history of Kotor, and there's many theories about how they became so integral to the character of the town. Cats are almost sacred here, and they've been revered and cherished ever since the founding of the city. Right by the entrance to the north gate is a unique square that on first impression admittedly looks a bit run down, but it's seemingly taken over by cats and provides a perfect opportunity to get up and close to the city's feline mascots. My favourite part of this park is the vending machine that takes plastic bottles for recycling.
So you put empty plastic bottles in and it gives you some cat food out. That's pretty cute, isn't it?
Once we were all kittened out, we went for one last look around some of the churches before paying a trip to one of our new favourite locations. So, Damien couldn't understand what the vegetation was on the floor of the church, despite him coming from a Catholic background. We guessed this was some sort of Russian Orthodox tradition. If you know what it is, leave a comment below. And now on to the thing that's been on my mind ever since we arrived. More of that amazing gelato from Moritz Ice.
Ice cream bits. Moritz Ice. Yes. To be fair, they do very good gelato / ice cream.
It's not bad, but it's very fruity, but out of season.
It's okay. Do you want to try this one? That one is yogurt and raspberry, and the one on top is solid caramel.
I was sticking to the ice cream.
Yeah, sorbet, I think sorbet is such a con. I think it's just never tastes nice. And some of the guys that are being healthy. But this is highly recommended. It is Maltese ice, and there is one at every entry point into Old Town. Definitely a chain, but it's still the best gelato / ice cream that we've had on this trip, which is 2 out of 2. So. There we go.
And that concludes our second day in Kotor. In the next video, we'll be checking out the bustling coastal town of Budva and taking a drive to a sketchy location to see the best view in the whole of the Balkans. Give us a like, leave a comment and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.